Hey everybody, Matt Michaels here with Sin City Steve, Rob Bossoleri, our good friend Travis, the honorary bad boy, and our new friend Super B, who I believe is related to either a Mysterio or a Guerrero, correct?
That is correct.
There we
Great uncle.
go. Great Uncle Eddie. Welcome to the Vegas Bad Boys of Podcasting. A lot of stuff going on this week. So let's just get straight into Too Sweet. Go ahead, Travis.
You guys got to redo your opening. Steve has
Uh,
hair now, and you, Matt, have had a physical change. So, I mean, come on.
Yeah, and then one guy, he's off chasing his Clippers down for probably the next 5 to 10 years. So
Were the Mania tickets that expensive? He had to just like retire from everything.
yeah,
Yeah.
When I
word,
saw
yes.
what the pre-cost was, and then he told me where he was sitting, I'm like, oh God, that's like 5 wedding rings.
yeah, and it's gonna be pretty much it was WrestleMania, kid just graduating high school and a kid about to graduate high school soon, all at the same time. That's
And then one wants to get married, He's father of the bride, and he's like, you know what? But it's WrestleMania. I mean, honey, priorities. I mean, you're going to get married like 2 more times. You live in Vegas, I'll be there for the divorce. Don't worry about it.
Plus, throwing in the looks like the quarterly cruise ship trips he takes.
quarterly.
Well, now
Yeah,
he's
monthly.
doing Jericho's Rock and Ragers on the.
Yeah, I'm waiting for the Jericho cruise to pop up.
Where they
Well,
go?
yeah.
Do they have a Jericho cruise in Vegas? Just put it in Lake Las Vegas.
Right.
He'll eventually find the Jericho cruise when Chris finds his way back to WWE.
Right. That's what it would be. That's what it would take.
Well, you don't want to see Danhausen and Aubrey the ref?
No, I want to see the Big Show try to walk.
Oh God.
Well, on that note, thanks, Rob. Steve, what was Too Sweet this week, man?
All right, so Tony Khan bought the rights to Guns N' Roses' November Rain for use on a video package, building to Full Gear. And you know what? The 9-minute video package held my attention from beginning to end, and it was fucking great. We always talk about AEW not doing video packages, not building to things, and this shows that if they actually, set out with the intent to do that, that they can do a very good job of it. So excellent job there. Also, hats off to the AEW tag team division as of late. I know that when the Bucks had the championship, I went on this very show and said that the division was dead and that they absolutely killed what was the AEW tag division, which at the promotion's beginning was its strongest division. But they've done a lot of rehab in the last 3 weeks. They are starting to actually develop teams, develop characters. The Outrunners, they are putting video packages behind them in the 80s filter. It's fucking awesome what they're doing. So great job with everything there. And stop me if you heard this one, but Anna Jay was involved in a good weapons match, this time on Collision against Mariah May. She loves doing the weapons matches for whatever fucking reason. Tables, ladders, chairs, even barbed wire. It's all good for her.
Yeah, it's because she's fucking Jungle Boy.
No, he's a scapegoat now. He's a scapegoat now.
No. Anyone, I'm pretty sure it pretty much goes like this. Hey, Anna, do you mind if we do Real Glass tonight? So, all right, Rob, what did you find sweet this week?
SmackDown. Cody goes after Kevin Owens. We knew that was going to come. Bayley advances towards her chance to get a belt again. And Shinsuke Nakamura attacking LA Knight with that weird goth bloody face paint thing. That was really great.
That was dope.
And I was saying over and over and over again, it's going to be Talatonga. He's going to be the fifth guy. And no, we had Bronson Reed joining the group and giving tsunamis. I'll be honest, I didn't see that coming. So that was a great surprise for me, but it seemed to fit. But I'll get into that later on. Nia Jax getting into it with Naomi. That was a good match. Tiffany Stratton getting involved with Candice LeRae, Liv Morgan, Raquel Rodriguez. So we have a lot of interaction with all the women. And then this ending where they keep going to Roman, give him a call. And it turns out to be Paul Heyman and his number is disconnected. I love that kind of drama. I like the wrestling and the drama to be intermixed, and they just hit it. What a great ending. And then they cut executive producer Paul Levesque.
Everyone brings up Paul, but no one ever mentions Lee Fitting. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Lee Fitting. I know.
Come on now. Lee Fitting has got to be the most famous nobody that everyone doesn't know who the fuck it is.
No,
was he part of D-Generation X?
Probably. No, the best part is when they do the credits for NXT. It's Lee Fitting. It says Lee Fitting, Paul Levesque, Shawn Michaels.
Yeah.
The hilarious part is Paul's under his legal name.
Right.
Shawn's under his gimmick name.
Yeah.
It's hilarious. So he's like, oh, okay, whatever. But
go ahead, Travis.
Well, Sean's name is still Sean, minus the last name, but
his middle name is his gimmick name, his wrestling name is actually his real name reversed.
Right. It's Shawn Michael Hickenbottom.
No, Michael Sean.
Yeah, Michael Sean Hickenbottom. Right.
Yeah. So, my things this week, Raw, NXT, and SmackDown opened and closed with women's matches. I don't know. I think that may be a first. I think it's pretty huge that Tony Khan was able to capture people's attentions for 9 minutes. I guess it's worth it if you want.
You get cocaine and you get cocaine. We're going to mail it to you.
Here's the question. Here's the biggest question. Yeah, he captured their attention. The same people that he captures the attention of every fucking week. The same people. It's people over the age of 40 fucking years old. He got goddamn Guns N' Roses, November Rain. You couldn't go get a Taylor Swift song or something for a younger audience. You just want to
Taylor Swift.
Get
the fuck out of here.
What bothers me is why does he have to go on X, Twitter, to announce that he got the rights to the song? Why can't you just let it be organic and play out perfectly and let us see?
Because
wow,
he's not good. He's not good. That's why they're slumping. That's why they were really cool 3 years ago. And then now they've fallen off because they knew enough just to shut the fuck up and let it happen.
It's not just that. He wants to make sure that everybody knows that he got the song to Guns N' Roses. He can't let it just be out, and it was just there.
The best part is Bully Ray trolling him like all week on Twitter. Like Bully's like, yo, like Paul did this in ECW years ago. Right. And you're using the name that Paul came up with.
Right.
Paul Heyman, for ECW used November Rain.
And
Tony's calling this tour of his November shows November to Remember. And Bully's just like, yo, dude, like, what the fuck?
When I saw the name of that tour, I couldn't believe that wasn't like copywritten, and that was insane. Like,
I was actually shocked that. Yeah, I was shocked that term was actually available. So I do give AEW credit. They have a show coming up in Columbus, Ohio, where tickets were horrible. They actually canceled the show, rebooked it for the same city in a much smaller venue during a convention. So it's a learning experience for Tony, and I'm sure something like that is pretty hard for him to swallow his pride to do, but at the same time, you got to remember NXT did the same thing on the second week of live TV. They were booked in the the NHL arena in St. Louis, and they weren't doing well as far as ticket sales. So they moved to a smaller venue, which turned out to be one of the best venues they've ran all year long. So there's nothing wrong with having to change your venue, to make your product look better. So, and I think them going to this smaller venue in Columbus is actually going to make the show look better.
I think so.
As far as the hardcore match, obviously I didn't see it, but it was a question I brought up to someone earlier today. It was, what's his fetish with booking women's hardcore matches strictly for Collision? I mean, no, for real, because Rosa did 3 of them this year.
Yeah.
Right.
And then there's been 3 others on Collision since her match.
Well,
and
they've done a few of them on Rampage too. So I know it seems like as if it's merely fodder for the secondary shows.
Well, but
yeah,
it's
which is funny because his most popular one, was Britt and Rosa, which was on Dynamite.
Right.
So it's funny he's moving them to other shows and he keeps doing them and doing them and doing them. It's like, I mean, I don't know what the quarter hours are for those matches, but I guess I would assume they're decent for him to keep booking that stuff.
But I think that's the only way he feels he can get people to watch those shows, is to book stuff like that, right? Because if you look at the other stuff on the card, and by the way, Collision, I reset my DVR 2 weeks ago and it's not recording. So for whatever reason,
that's called AI.
Collision's just deciding I don't even like myself, so I'm fucking canceling all your DVRs. You don't have to suffer.
Wait, hold on, but you still have Rampage on your TV?
Unfortunately, and it's like watching it's like watching a dog hump a tree. It's like you don't want to look away. You should, but you're just like seeing this dog fuck himself raw on fucking.
Well, at least the dog is going to have a clean finish. So.
That's so true. So true.
Now, are we confirmed that Collision or Rampage is done in about 5 weeks, or what's?
It wasn't part of the TV rights deal, so unless they convert that time slot into like Ring of Honor, then
but technically the TV rights deal doesn't kick in until next year. So is Collision? I mean, is Rampage done? I've asked people, how come it's so quiet now about this whole Fox deal? It's like.
That's because they were going to do a deal with Father James Mitchell. And they were like, I got second thoughts now.
I would have thought that got him a job, to be quite honest.
Yeah.
So he'd be like the number 2 guy. He'd be as like Pat Patterson, as number 2 guy right there. Like,
wait a minute. We tested some fentanyl in this.
All right, Super B, what stuck out to you this week, man?
Bronson Reed, for sure. That guy has gotten so over, on both shows. It's become a larger than life. He's reached the Bam Bam Bigelow status, in my opinion, for modern day.
Great.
But with more agility. I always thought Bam Bam was just a little overrated. I think he was great, like super, super great, but just a little over the top. But what Bronson Reed's doing out there, that tsunami splash, just the gimmick that he has now, just like he's finally gotten comfortable with this character. He's believing that he's a monster. So whoever's behind him pushing him is doing a great job. And then just that surprise, seeing him in that spot, attack Roman, I was like, oh shit, did this just really happen? Yeah. It made it feel from people were complaining about the bloodline storyline getting stale, like, oh, they're going to bring in so many other people because everyone predicted what was going to happen, and it just threw everything off.
Which also he just needs a jock strap on his face.
Actually, there's one more big thing that needs to get a shout out for this week, and it's I'm buffering here.
No shit.
Yeah, Netflix better.
How many?
Netflix.
How
I
many?
thought
How many?
you were buffering too. I was looking at my connection. Like, what the hell?
How many executives were sweating their balls off? But hey, 60 million people. I mean, we did get to see a excellent female fight. Despite whatever headbutts and all that. But
that was bullshit. That was the worst of call on a
yeah.
match.
I mean, but
women.
besides I mean, it's bullshit on a bullshit show.
I've never seen a Puerto Rican get screwed that bad since the last hurricane.
Well, hey, listen. It just goes to show that people can't get enough of old fat WWE Hall of Famers trying to do something and call themselves relevant. So,
Right.
Well, we got 4 years of a.
Yeah, exactly.
I did love.
Your president, excuse me, Steve. We know you love me. Your president, chief, and WWE Hall of Famer is talking, and quite honestly, it's going to be the greatest 4 years of wrestling that they've ever seen. I'm going to manage Don Jr., and he's going to tag with Ivanka, and it's going to be mixed tag wrestling like you've never seen before.
Oh, Christ.
Yes, what do you want?
4 more years.
You got it's going to be 4 glorious years like they never ever have they seen wrestling.
Hey, what is
before?
Entourage he had at UFC last night.
That was a fucking squad.
Christ. The Fertitas, RFK Jr., Elon is like Dana Hunter. It's like, god damn. Like you got the
that was the real main event mafia.
That was the real fucking yeah. I mean, you got the guy who's running the country.
Yeah.
You got the guy who runs social media. You got the guy who runs mixed martial arts, and the guy who runs sports entertainment, wrestling, whatever you want to call it. Like, Jesus, like wow, pretty impressive.
We call it winning. We call it winning on another level. Believe it, we win big.
And the best part, they were in the most famous arena in the whole world.
Yep.
It wasn't like it was in Vegas or
they were in
it was
MSG.
like. So anyway,
I don't like MSG in my rice. Believe me, you don't want that.
I was surprised Taker wasn't with them. That was the only one missing, I thought.
Yeah.
Well,
Taker and Kane. Can't shoot the angle the whole. I mean, come on, it's like the bloodline. You got to spread it out when you're adding members.
Yeah,
it's all right. Kane will end up in the cabinet, so we still haven't got that announcement yet. But I'm banking
Well,
that.
isn't Linda McMahon?
That wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah, but Linda McMahon was in the last cabinet. I don't know if she
last
has in this one.
But he's gonna announce this Vince McMahon as part of the ethics committee. Up next, we got Vince McMahon, great guy. I know great guys.
Excuse me, you don't do the voice. I do the voice, okay? I do that, and I do it huge. When I do it, it's huge. And Vince McMahon, he's going to be running through women like toilet paper. Believe it, okay? Because you need to have the genetic jackhammer in the White House.
That Netflix documentary is going to disappear as of January. When's the inauguration?
20th.
January 20th.
Yeah.
Right in time for the Rumble. The Netflix documentary is going to disappear. Guaranteed.
We had a pretty kind of surprising thing with Josh Briggs' new tag partner being for wrestling known as Yoshiki Inamura or something like that. I don't know, Steve. Who the hell is this?
I was thinking, who the fuck was Josh Briggs? I was like, what he was like.
Did you just say Dashiki?
Yes. But again, you're seeing them open the door to talent and actually announce where they're from and stuff, which you wouldn't see before.
That's huge.
Forbidden.
That's huge.
It's like a forbidden door they have there.
Yeah.
Almost prohibited.
And Kalani Jordan and Fallon Henley had a fucking great match again. Boy,
I mean, come on. Yeah. Rolling Thunder into standing shooting star.
Just give me that naked.
I don't know how you could. I don't know how the aspect of rolling forward could execute a move that you have to do backwards.
Doesn't matter.
Watch
This
it
is
over.
why I don't wrestle. I did it for 1 month and almost broke my neck trying to roll backwards.
It was weird. It's like, wait, you rolled forward to do a move that you have to do backwards. So,
Yeah.
anyways,
I think that's a good segue to what the fuck.
There you go. Hey, but another real quick thing. Someone mentioned Roman Reigns, the segment. That was cinema.
Yeah.
That was cinema. And if you watch it over, there's a part where in the show, the Bloodline's backstage looking at the monitor and Solo comes out to the ring. But if you watch right as literally about a second before, or literally as Solo's music hits, watch this part over. Sammy reaches into his pocket and throws a phone onto the couch. The storyline right now for the next few weeks is this telephone. People also are thinking, well, why did Heyman change his number? But if you go back to the night they took Heyman out, Solo grabbed his phone and destroyed it. So it's not,
Well,
did Heyman change his number? So it's
insurance.
It's little
Exactly.
yeah, we got our T-Mobile Verizon.
So wait, you tell me that the storyline is that Paul Heyman's at the Verizon store right now going, you know what? I've got an unlimited plan, and my name is Paul Heyman, and I expect a free cell phone.
He was at the Verizon store on Friday at 9:55 p.m. But no, those two little things are actually going to lead to something big over the next few weeks. So
Well,
especially the Sami Zayn part.
Well, let's just face reality, though. It is Paul Heyman, so therefore, most likely he defaulted on his bills, and that's why his phone doesn't work. And now Vince McMahon actually owns his phone. He bought the rights to.
No, wait a minute. We know why he didn't answer the phone and why he was disconnected. It was Friday night, Shabbos.
If they played that into the storyline, that would be hilarious.
Just like ECW was under his mom's name.
Right.
Yeah. Exactly.
I love that they would pan to the right of his promos and she's ironing because they were cutting all those promos in a basement in Yonkers.
Yeah.
I mean, that would be a brilliant tie-in now if, the next time we see Paul Heyman, he is in the basement of his parents' house, still convalescing, trying to get better from.
And it's like you always have to make it. He has a beard and white hair. Then Roman Reigns is fine, and all of a sudden his hair turns black. I love that. The next week his hair's black again.
He's in the basement on Twitter arguing with fans from a different promotion.
Seems legit.
It's him and Rob Black still beefing 25 years later. Oh man. All right. So let's do some what the fucks. Rob, what the fuck?
This is an AEW one. First of all, John Moxley cut one of the worst goddamn promos. I will smash your face into hamburger meat. I will brutalize you so bad your mother won't even recognize you. That was his promo against Orange Cassidy. Who
and
wrote this? Like a bully from the 80s?
Rob, really quick. Wednesday's Dynamite was promoted as Mox takes over the Superstation.
Yep.
That was it. That was him taking over.
Yeah. Yep. I don't know what the fuck that was. I don't know what the fuck that was. It made no goddamn sense. It was just him cutting a really bad promo. It looked like something out of Nerds. Like whoever wrote Nerds in the 80s wrote that promo for him, because Jesus Christ, that was terrible. You know, it's one thing that Orange Cassidy sucks at doing promos, but if Orange Cassidy is getting better than you, we have a problem. Then we have, more appropriately, Adam Cole beats Takeshita during his theme music and wins.
What?
Did Adam Cole fight? It was beating up on Takeshita, unless I was
So
mistaken.
Adam
Cole lost
to Takeshita.
Why did I mix that one up?
Because you were booking your own show.
because everybody thought that it was going to go a certain way, and it.
Oh,
didn't.
that's right. All right. I'm mixing it up, because that's right. Roderick Strong is the one who's advancing, not him.
Undisputed Era, it's all the same, you know.
Yeah. I don't really see, and that was what I was meant to say. I don't have any idea of what the point of the Callis family is, because
Neither
they're using.
Do they?
That was my point. I don't know what's going on with the Callis family, and if everybody.
But he shaved his head.
Yeah.
He shaved his head.
Where's Okada? Where's the Rainmaker? Was he injured? He just disappeared, and he's still holding the Continental Championship, and they're not doing it, anything with him. So
I think he's an LA Dodger now, dude.
Yeah, right.
They gave him 4 years at 22 million.
Yeah.
They've kept most of the Elite off TV, but
the Rainmaker Otani.
The Continental Classic starting in 2 weeks, so he'll be a part of that.
Okay, and then the last thing, speaking of the Elite, you're not very elite if you get strapped to the hood of your own shitty truck. That one, and it's what is that done off camera that he gets strapped to the hood of the truck? So I'm like, yeah. He says, wait a minute, I've got an idea, and then they did some swipe a little, and he's on the hood of his own. Wouldn't I want to see that? I don't understand what we're doing with these people. They're doing such bizarro stuff. But here's the thing, it's going to be over the following week. We're not going to go back to it. We're not going to revisit it. We're not going to think about it. That's my what the fuck is. You're going to do something over the top. Okay. What is he going to counter with? I mean, I don't know what we do now. Like, do they actually have to go and physically murder somebody? Or maybe we just break the fourth wall, screw the kayfabe, and they just beat up Anna Jade. Screw chivalry. They just beat the crap out of Anna Jade. We've got to make an example out of her. Yeah. You know what? Big Daddy Magic here. And you know what makes my nipples hard? Beating up Anna Jade to get back at Jungle Boy.
Sex tape. That's what we need. We need Daddy Magic.
Co-signs.
Sex tape.
That'd be great. That'd be great. But you know what? She should have to bang Sting. Like, he should just come down from the ceiling naked. He's just like bring him down from the ceiling naked, and he's got a strap-on baseball bat. He has a strap-on baseball bat, and he just gives it to Anna Jade.
So,
why not?
But what about the other members of the police?
Oh man!
All right, Super
They're
B.
sending out an SOS.
Super B, man. What's got you going? What the fuck in wrestling this week?
What the fuck is listening to Rob?
Welcome.
Oh shit!
What the fuck?
We have more what the fuck shit your body has room for. Believe me. The very best what the fucks.
I the last 3 weeks I didn't even bother. I just deleted. I need a room on my DVR, and I deleted everything AEW to make room for holiday baking wars on Food Network.
Dude, some of those holiday baking championship shows are way more entertaining than AEW right now.
It gets intense, man.
Yeah,
they get some tag belts. They do some great spots.
Yeah, because it flows. It goes from the Halloween baking wars, and then you go into the holiday ones.
Right,
it's just like a smooth transition. So it's pretty much baking WrestleMania season right now.
Long-term storytelling.
Yeah,
dude. You know what? That brings up a great point. Is when does WWE get into Hallmark movies? Because that they've got a couple people who'd be perfect for those fucking movies.
Come on, they're about to enter Netflix. It's
exactly.
No, I want to have Vince McMahon in one of those Hallmark movies, Excuse me, honey, if you want this magical Christmas, you got to sign the NDA.
No, I'm just like, dude, Liv and Dom, right? Liv and Dom would make a fucking wonderful Hallmark movie, man.
A very greasy Christmas.
And on the 5th day of Christmas, my dirty Dom gave to me.
On the 5th day of Christmas, you wanna give to me fried chicken tenders.
Something that starts with an S and ends with a D.
A sexually transmitted disease.
Steve,
why would the fuck would be Ricochet though? What the fuck is going on with Ricochet? So what? You put on a suit and you're fucking Cody Rhodes now all of a sudden? What the fuck is he doing? I don't understand. And that guy, for the last time, he can't cut a promo. He can't cut a promo for shit. I don't know what it is. Doesn't want to go to an improv class. Doesn't practice. You know, to a certain point, you got to pick up something at least. And the guy's had zero improvement in the 10 years that I've known him.
Yeah.
Here's his promo. He needs a catchphrase. Who fucked up Samantha Irwin's career? This guy.
Man, he didn't even learn about camera presence or the hard camera or anything. He's talking, looking straight at the commentator. You know, never goes back to the camera. I'm like, who are you talking to, dude?
Well, he's in an AEW ring. Who's he talking to in general? There's no one in that building.
Even the backstage stuff though is just horrible.
Yeah. No, I mentioned it today. Like he's talented for the internet, but not willing to be talented for the casual fan.
You know what? If that guy would have stayed in a mask, I think today he'd be 10 times more over than he is.
That's a good point. That is a fair point.
I mean, realistically,
the face doesn't match the body either. Let's be real. You know?
Yeah.
He's got an Alvin and the Chipmunk kind of look.
But the thing is with him, there's no consistency, and also it's going to sound silly. Get some consistent ring attire. Like every week, he has a different outfit. You're supposed to be kind of like a superhero or a supervillain, and they come in the same outfits, maybe different colors, but he's just not consistent.
Steve, what were you going to say?
I think realistically, as far as Ricochet, if you put him with somebody that can talk for him, he's going to be fine. I know that they've teased the thing with MVP. I doubt that that'll materialize, but I definitely think that you need to put him with somebody who can talk for him. He's an amazing talent in ring, but yeah, promo skills are just not there. So yeah, definitely that.
And they already had him. They got Ricochet, so because Leo Rush and Ricochet are the same fucking person as far as I'm concerned. That's it. You know,
Leo Rush has some charisma.
I don't know about that.
Leo Rush can talk on the mic.
But I would put. I mean, if they were going to give him a mic, a person to speak for him, I would prefer Leo Rush over MVP. Only because it's weird if MVP is managing someone who does nothing but flips and shit like that. You know, Shelton and Bobby fit perfect for MVP. Right. Leo Rush is way better on the mic than Ricochet. But you know, if he was his manager, you know, it kind of fits because they are kind of the same style. You know, but at the same time, it's like,
but is it, you know, are we looking at a situation where technically Ricochet should go with them because they're all ex-WWE guys, and then they could still call them the NWO, but it means something totally different?
No, on a more serious note, you can have him be the replacement for Cedric Alexander. Because that's the only guy who did not carry over.
Don't worry, Cedric will be there in about 6 weeks.
Yeah. He's got about 2 more NXT losses, and he'll be over there soon.
And then Apollo Crews.
They're just letting him finish the holidays.
Yeah. But it just to kind of herd things back. One thing that really was jarring that AEW did this week was something that ECW did way back in the day. They
November
bled
Rain?
segment. Yeah. So, but they bled segments together. So obviously you had the Will Ospreay, Kyle Fletcher promo. They each came out and, they did a good job of hyping up their match and building to that. And then of course you have the Don Callis family come out. Then you have Will Hobbs and Mark Davis come out. You have a fucking brawl, which somehow magically takes everybody outside of the ring except for Lance Archer. And then you start the Lance Archer versus Adam Cole match. And then, oh my God, Roderick Strong versus Lance Archer match.
Yeah.
And then, and obviously Roddy wins that in about 8 minutes. They don't have a fucking light source in the back where they have a table planted that they know they're going to do a spot. So you don't even see the fucking table spot back there. And then
the light went on a second after he hits it,
Right.
right after he lands it. The light goes on. It was like one of those security sensor lights that you put up over your garage.
The motion detector lights.
The ring camera turned on.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. And I mean, obviously, so you do that shit, and then obviously you have Roddy get on the mic and start to talk shit to MJF. Takeshita blindsides him from behind, and then you have Adam Cole come out. So literally, you just cram five segments together. And I literally, after it was over, I genuinely said, "What the fuck?" Because my head was spinning after that shit. You didn't let any of it breathe. You didn't establish really anything whatsoever, and it was just overwhelming. And that's a fan of the show.
Steve,
that's a fan of the show saying that. Imagine what a casual fan would say.
I got lost for a sec. I thought you were talking about doing coke. Like your head was spinning. I thought, oh, you're talking about Dynamite. I thought you were
Steve, about... it is what is called 8-ball booking.
8-ball booking.
I like that 8-ball booking.
Nice. But yeah, genuinely, like, what the fuck?
Before Travis, we get to you. I do have to say, to me, the biggest what the fuck is happy birthday, Mercedes Moné. Congratulations on being a year older before it's your time. And that's right, you have another Mercedes on your roster that it's actually her birthday, but 8-ball booking. Jesus Christ.
How do you, as like,
what the fuck?
Do you think that social media team would have a job tomorrow in WWE? No,
not at all.
If they did something like that to your supposed top star,
yeah,
like how did they? You could literally see someone got a text and said, "Hey, post this because it's Mercedes' birthday." Either they put Mercedes M because Martinez Monet, or I think that's what happened. They said post this, it's probably said it's Mercedes M birthday, post this, or the person put Mercedes Martinez and the person receiving it thought it was a
they just
autocorrect. No, they probably thought it was autocorrect and meant to say Monet and not Martinez. And I'm like, wow. Like, see, there needs to be a behind the scenes of that. Like, give me that. Give me that for 9 minutes. Don't give me Guns N' Roses. Give me that. Give me the explanation to open Dynamite of 9 minutes of why the fuck did you guys think like. And then read all the comments. They should be forced to read all the comments that were left on that page, that tweet.
Any other
they just imagine the person who did this.
Yeah.
If they worked on Raw, they would be so fucking confused between Braun Strowman, Braun Breaker, and Bronson Reed.
Right.
So now you see why Vince didn't want people with the same names in the company. It's coming back around. We're understanding his mindset now. Like,
# Vince was right.
Yes.
Oh,
that was my what the fuck. Also, we can go on.
By the way, Steve, we are now cutting that, and that's becoming your.
It's gonna be a drop, of course.
Yeah, you're gonna have to live that down for the rest of your life.
Well, bring it, bitches.
All right, so we have a lookout here. Before we do look out really quick, I got to say TNA. One of the things that the last 2 weeks Joe Hendry has done is given us the Ryan Nemeth story, which this week he gave us the director's cut, and both times it literally is he's Nick Nemeth's brother. The end. Brilliant. That's it. That's the whole movie. Fucking genius.
Well, I can't tell you what he's ever done except suck.
There you go.
TNA, you mean NXT developmental?
Yeah.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yes. Absolutely. And it's
even this somehow Speedball is going to AEW.
Well, I mean, obviously. Anybody with the name Speedball,
that's
TK is going to be all over that shit.
He saw
I didn't even have to watch his tapes. I heard the name and I said, I want him immediately. And then Mike Bailey's like, it's going to be such an honor to be here performing on All Elite Wrestling where I can finally show my great talents.
He honestly doesn't know that he's gotten a wrestler. He just put out the money for Speedball.
Exactly.
Wait, is this guy not my dealer?
He's like, how much for a Speedball? Really?
This is good shit. I bet you this is amazing.
We'll put 8-Ball and Speedball together.
Just wait till he shows up on his first day of work.
Wait, Mike Bailey, is that my dealer's name? Mike Bailey?
How depressed he's going to be when he sees he actually hired a wrestler.
The fuck is this? Another wrestler? God damn it, I've got too many mouths to feed.
We already got 200 of those.
The one Harris brother who is 8-Ball in WWE is the other one who's getting the call. So
we'll start with a new match. We'll call it Aces and 8-Ball.
Well, funny thing is, I didn't even catch on to the 8-Ball name back then.
Right?
I thought it was just an 8-Ball,
Right. Oh, that's what it was supposed to be because it was, biker gang related bullshit. But we know what Vince was thinking when he was doing that shit. Are you kidding me?
Yes, give me an 8-Ball. 2 of them, damn it. That's the quarter. 2 8-Balls is a quarter. No, it's not 2 8-Balls.
Fucking Skull and 8-Ball, along with crushing chains.
It was an 8-Ball to the skull. That's what it was.
Yeah. All right. What are you looking forward to, Rob?
Well, I am looking forward to either one, Sami Zayn screwing everybody over. I feel that's in the works because he's going to go, hey, you just disrespected Jey Uso, you disrespected me, Roman Reigns. You don't want to apologize. You don't want me around. You're tolerating me. They did that thing where he was talking to Solo Sikoa outside. We never got a satisfying answer to that. So I feel a big screw job is coming. I also am still thinking this. I'm going to die on this hill. Where the fuck is The Rock? I guarantee The Rock has to be involved in some matter in this War Games thing. There has to be.
The real tribal chief.
Yeah. Go ahead, Super.
Yeah.
The Rock is the elder. He's the one that set Solo over to backup Roman when the Usos weren't available. It's been The Rock behind the whole thing all along.
Yep, the final, and that's why he's the final boss.
Yeah, he's the final boss. The Rock's been behind Solo the entire time. Remember, Roman was shocked when Solo jumped over from NXT. He was like, "What are you doing? What are you doing here?" He said, "The elder sent me." Who's the elder? That's The Rock.
Ah, yeah, that does make sense. I'm still interested to see what they're going to do on this slow burn with the New Day. Their 10-year anniversary is coming up, so we have to get something big. And I'm hoping the power of positivity holds out. So
something big like a E.
Yep. Yeah, you have to have him show up and save those two guys. But Kofi Kingston's actually acting more like the heel than Xavier Woods is, because he's just getting involved in one dumb match here to the other, putting himself into situations where he ends up screwing himself over. So this is interesting the way they could take it. I'm really looking forward to The Miz, how he's going to weasel his way out of the situation he's in right now, and the entire Wyatt Six still in the mix. So that could be some good stuff. And as far as AEW, I don't know. I'd love to see Shane O'Mac music play and then nobody come out. That would be great. And then you just see like a promo comes. He's like, "What? You actually thought I gave a shit about this pissant company? No, no one's pulling the strings. You're just an idiot, Mox." And that's it. And you just walk off, and that's it. Because they're holding this suitcase. I don't get it. Why wouldn't you want to have the belt? Why wouldn't you walk around with the belt slapped over your shoulder, bragging about why you're the best, instead of having Marina Shafir have a Money in the Bank briefcase when you already won? So it's more of a what the fuck, but just resolve this already. Tell us what's in the briefcase. You know, I'm assuming it's some sort of Metamucil fiber pills, you know, because, you know, Mox is not regular. I don't know. Just find out what's going on there.
Just let's just face it. The honest answer is at some point, Mox is going to marry Shad Khan's daughter, take over the company, and become.
And what about Renee Paquette? Is she just going to cut like another promo? Will Renee Paquette have to cut the first promo with Mox and his new wife?
Yes.
No, X-Pac will come in and take care of Renee.
Yeah, exactly.
He always gets the sloppy seconds.
One night in Parquet.
Oh, Jesus.
You know, X-Pac doesn't have a good track record with these women. They don't last too long after he's got their fingers in them.
Sorry, Michael Hayes.
Yeah.
All right, Steve, what are you looking forward to, man?
Saturday is Full Gear. They've done a pretty good job of building to the show. They need one more Dynamite to solidify it and hopefully get people to actually, I don't know, buy the fucking pay-per-view, which has been an extreme struggle.
Or Disney rules?
Nope. But yeah, I mean, a pretty solid show. The Moxley and Orange Cassidy match should be good. Ospreay and Fletcher, Jack Perry and Daniel Garcia, Swerve and Lashley, Jay White and Hangman. And yeah, I mean, top to bottom, you've got a very solid show. And Private Party, Outrunners, Acclaimed, and the Kings of the Black Throne in a four-way for the tag titles. It's good to see some new names being mentioned on pay-per-view. Obviously, you know, we've talked about them elevating talents. This is something that just needs to happen. Yeah, no shit.
How about sell the tickets to the high gym it will be broadcast from? Yes, the high school gym.
How many WWE guys did you just list off there, though?
Exactly. Now, here's the thing: is obviously, you know, everybody has to go somewhere. Everybody has to start somewhere, and everybody has to work elsewhere. So, yes, when WWE is a company that has had a 50+ year head start on AEW, of course, you're going to have a large chunk of wrestlers that are out there that have worked in WWE.
Their pitch from the very beginning was, we are not going to be that company that picks up WWE throwaways. Okay, and that's exactly what they become. Good for them. It's what they needed to be all along in order to be successful. But what Tony Khan is that kid that went to the yard sale or that thrift store and found a box full of old action figures. Took him home and started doing his own thing. He didn't reinvent anybody. He's continuing the same storylines, the same gimmicks, and the same characters from the previous company. You know, that's what I have a little bit of trouble with. You can't be shitting on competition, but yet just continue on with what they invented.
But he's
I completely agree with you. 1,000%. I completely agree with you. And honestly, this is one reason why the Jon Moxley storyline pisses me off, because honestly, he's saying the things that need to be said. people are in the same exact position where they were 5 years ago, and people are spinning their wheels. And what's going on? Realistically, what is the long-term evolution for your company? And he's coming at his promos from a perspective of somebody that's been there, a multi-time champion. And I mean, realistically, to be timely with things, it sounds like he's trying to make AEW great again. But we'll see what happens.
Not just that, he was that exact same guy in the WWE.
Yeah,
but he couldn't get that spot that he thought he deserved.
Okay, great again. Like,
you're baiting me on this one. You're baiting me. I know it.
Young man.
Oh, God.
Young man.
There you go.
Christy Kamala, she spent $20 million on AEW, and now she's stripping for money. It's so sad. So very sad. She's at Tata's on the I-95 right now, shaking her ass for a Senate seat.
All right. Since we got Super B here, getting some love from American Bam Bam. What are you looking forward to, Super B?
I'm looking forward to the continuation of that Bloodline storyline. I'm not too sure who's going to be the fifth member for Team Roman.
Well, the first thought I had, Bronson Reed is now on their team, so Seth makes total sense.
That's what I'm thinking too. But what about if Seth gets to him before that and Bronson doesn't even make it?
No.
And they're their own match. I was thinking about that being a possibility.
I forgot about that. Yeah, I was thinking of that earlier.
Because he is from Raw. So if Seth gets his hands on him first, takes him out, we still have those open spots too.
It's going to be Mox.
That's what's in the briefcase.
Go back to
WWE contract.
It's a contract from a Khan, not Tony Khan, but Nick Khan.
No, one of the Saudi
and I'm getting pretty angry right now. My wife is still there cutting shitty promos in AEW, and I just can't stand this shit anymore, man.
Yeah, so I don't know where it's heading. It's who's going to be a fifth member. Does The Rock, if that happens, does The Rock possibly come in, do the betrayal there? Is Sammy the betrayal? Who was Sammy calling on the phone that he said wasn't going to help him out? Was that also maybe Kevin Owens? Is he going to get involved in the whole thing as well? There's so many variables and possibilities. There's, of course, just the obvious, which is Rollins, and then what? So now does Roman have to reach out to the guy who cost him his title? In Rollins. So it goes in so many directions that I'm confused, and I love that I'm confused about it.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Travis.
It's almost like Roman has to reach out to the guy who caused all this from the beginning.
Vince?
Because, well, not Vince, but Seth. Because
Chris Hero?
if it wasn't for Seth turning, the Shield would have still been together. But Seth's turn led to the Shield breaking up, to Roman becoming, what he is. I like when AEW fans like to say, "Oh, WWE had a 50-year advance," stuff like that. I say, if AEW's been around 5 years, let's look at WrestleMania 1 through 5. By WrestleMania 5, they were a very established company. They were strong. They had a strong main eventer, a very strong main eventer. And they focused on their secondary titles. They had a strong, tag division, and everyone had TV time, everyone with way less TV time than it is these days. And, the WWE was still in a different, or WWF was in a different atmosphere at WrestleMania 5 than AEW is in their 5th year. WWF had toys, ice cream bars, merchandise, everything, and
the Trump Taj Mahal.
So we're literally starting from WrestleMania 1, where realistically is not the genesis of WWF.
we can actually look at AEW's legit competition, which is not WWE. It's more NXT.
Right.
NXT from 2020 to 2025, 2019 to 2025. You know,
but also
NXT is why is NXT even? There's no way NXT should be beating them.
Well,
Not in ratings, not in attendance. There's no
I completely
logical
agree.
reason. There's no logical reason why.
There is one reason, and that is because when Adam Cole was on NXT, they were getting their asses kicked, and AEW was good. He goes over to AEW, and now it reverses. Adam Cole is the fucking problem to all of this. Period. Done. Fucking solved.
Kind of like how Seth is the problem with the Roman.
All I want to know is there was this guy called the Demo God, and now he's kind of the demo janitor. He's been on too long. I don't give a shit about the Nueve. Yep. It means nothing to me that you got this like fucking belt that you could have ordered on Wish.
It looks like they're trying to sell a TV deal, and Tony goes right back to what he thinks caught him a TV deal at the beginning, which is Jericho.
And Jericho, this is his worst persona, and I guess he knows that, so he's really hamming it up. But then don't put a belt on him. If you're gonna do that.
John Deaton says that AEW is the greatest promotion ever.
Okay.
Even though Adam Cole looks like the anorexic Rhino to me. It looks like if Rhino was Captain America, Adam Cole's the guy who, before they put him in the pot and turned him into Captain America.
Right.
But it's the perception. It's the perception of AEW right now.
Right. Exactly.
It's like Tony is not going at it's. Forget the in-ring, forget TV shows, TV rights, whatever. Tony is not going out and taking his company, to the public. Right. It's like I didn't see the UFC show live, but I don't know if they actually showed Damian and Rhea, but WWE social media made sure they showed Damian and Rhea at Madison Square Garden last night. At the same time, MVP, Lashley, Keith Lee, Shelton Benjamin were all at the Tyson fight. I've yet to see anything from AEW.
That's ridiculous.
On that about that. You have your new top toys, and there's nothing that the company is doing to show that they were at this event. And that's the thing. It's the public perception. It's not there, and if they're not going to put the company out into the public, then why should the public watch?
As you mentioned, why haven't they reached out to Jake Paul at all?
Exactly. Like, I don't even if Jake turns it down, at least reach out to him. Give him the Swerve Sasha Banks type of contract. Just say, hey,
Beyonce $20 million for 3 minutes.
I would give Jake the largest contract in AEW history. I wouldn't give a fuck what any wrestler says. You don't like it, then just go. Give him the deal and say, you know what, we got you. And run with him. Run with him, because why not? At least reach out to him, which they haven't.
Would you think that would get enough people to go over to AEW if you split the brothers?
Oh man, Jake's got such a huge millennial social media following that
Jake has a bigger following. Yeah, Jake has a bigger following than his brother, and I mean, at least Logan comes in, does wrestling, disappears for a while, but while he disappears, he doesn't really do anything. He's always in Jake's shadow. Jake is out there boxing Mike Tyson. It's like I would have signed Jake before this Tyson fight. Get Jake to come on AEW and shoot and do promos about your fight. And then say after the fight, I'm going to come to AEW and Tokyo Dome or wherever and so on. But it's like you have the opportunity to do something like this, and you don't. Yet you go and get some Costco dude and his weirdo family to do a match, and then it's like, okay, so you're bringing in these TikTok people, but you're putting them on the pre-show.
Yeah.
Like what the fuck? Like, I mean, I get it. Like, you don't want to do the full 5-minute match on your pay-per-view. Then why even book the match? Book a segment. Book a segment where QT ends up in the cake or through a table, and then that leads to Dynamite the week later or 2 weeks later, and do the match on Dynamite. You put everything else for free on fucking Dynamite. Why won't you put this match? Build it up on. It's like
because he had to put it on for free on the pre-show to the pay-per-view.
It's like you have a social and nothing. I mean, the family is weird, whatever, but they do have some social media following. I can give them, they have a social media presence, whether people like it or not. They have a social media presence. Why are they on the pre-show? That's ridiculous. WWE is not going to waste their time bringing in some celebrity, no matter how big or small, and put them on the pre-show. It's like, I mean, at least do what they did with. Do what they did with Jelly Roll. Like, I mean, Jelly Roll, he sang a song. I mean, these TikTokers have a song. Let him sing a song, get booed out of the building, and then later in the show, like Jelly Roll, like hand someone a chair.
AEW was doing that for a while during the pandemic, and then they stopped doing that after the pandemic. They started getting lamer once they had to go back live. When they were doing the pandemic, they had all these celebrities coming in and sending in videos and doing segments. They were the guys to innovate, having their own wrestlers as audience members, so it was more natural.
Like who? Who were some of the celebrities that were? Do you remember?
Oh my god, yeah. Who was the guy? There was a bunch of them. The guy who's the famous comedian who says I'm fluffy. They had
Gabriel Iglesias. They also did the match with Shaq. Which
that's what I'm saying. They have
had names.
They had Shaq. They had that Snoop. They had Mike Tyson. But the problem is, all these celebrities. It's not that they stop. All these celebrities go and do an interview the week after, and it's like, oh, I had fun, but my eyes are still on WWE.
Right. Exactly.
It's like they signed the Costco guys. His first interview to promote this match, he's saying, I really reached out to WWE first, but AEW got back to me the quickest. How do you even let that interview go public? You're saying you really wanted to go to WWE, but you're selling for AEW? It's baffling. It's baffling. And then you see WWE, and people just wonder why Logan's such a big star in the company, and why this star comes over, why that star. I mean, you got the fucking NBA doing shit during the middle of the season. NBA players are, punching people or handing chairs out. You've got
you got Rick.
You got every Saturday on College Game Day. You have a WWE star there. I saw this morning at what was it, the Jets game or the Giants game? Sonya Deville was on the pre-show.
Right, and you just had Ricker. You had LA Knight at the Bucks, arena.
And it's like how are you letting WWE outshine you with the NFL when you own a fucking NFL
when you
team?
own a team,
right? You should have some of your guys showing up at Jacksonville Jaguar games and just sitting in the audience going, "Hey, look, there's MJF, our champion." Back when
there's a couple things wrong with that statement.
But still, it's like they like you own, like, how is WWE outshining you with the NFL? That's ridiculous. Ridiculous.
It's the biggest WWE fan there is Tony Khan.
No, it's true. It's true. That's not even a joke. That's true. Yes.
I meant it.
It's crazy. And it's like, and that's the baffling part, because AEW really should be a more prevalent company within America. Yep. It shouldn't just be for the sickos on Twitter. It should be for people who are wrestling fans who will say, hey, you know what? I have Peacock, so it's only $10 a month. So I'm not really spending money on WWE pay-per-views. So this extra money that I have, I'm going to give to AEW for their pay-per-views. That's just what wrestling fans should be saying right now, but they're not, because AEW does not appeal to them. So because to wrestling fans, they're like, okay, I just saw the Hurt Business do nothing the past 4 months in WWE. Why the fuck should I care about them right now because they changed channels?
Let me ask you guys a question to see if you agree. Would you say that CM Punk was a big problem also. I mean, yes, you mentioned all the stuff on Tony's end, but I think, following CM Punk's feud with MJF, it fell off right after that in a really big way. That was the last time they had any relevant storylines going on where I was engaged.
Because of the bullshit popping off with CM Punk.
But that's where you gotta
literally
you
ever
as
since
a
he left.
you,
that was the change in the business.
You as a promoter, manager, owner, whatever the fuck he wants to call himself as the company, you should have controlled that.
I agree.
You should have controlled that, and he doesn't control his drama. Because before there was Punk, why are so many stories coming out between Britt Baker and Thunder Rosa?
Right.
What all this stuff? Why is all this coming out? And the Cody stuff, why all of this, and then you say, oh, guess what? We're going to air the footage. You think the Young Bucks just showed up at TV that day and gave the satellite truck the footage and was like, air this? No. Tony Khan sat back and thought that was funny. And yeah, it boosted his ratings to 900,000. He still didn't hit 950 that night. And it's like, okay, then they go back down to 670 the week after in front of 1,200 people. It's like he has control over this. When he lost Cody, he should have built a star. He should have built a star that week. I don't give a fuck who it was. Someone should have went out on Dynamite, won the title in dramatic. Probably should have been Wardlow. Win the title in dramatic fashion and just put the fucking rocket on him. Because right now WWE has proven we're going to put titles, or we're going to make our main person someone who looks good in the ring and in a suit.
Yeah,
and they have that with Wardlow. I don't want to get it. Wardlow's a fucking stud in a suit. Why is he not one of the faces?
Go ahead, Sue.
I was thinking Ricochet. He looks great in a suit.
You could put the secondary title on Ricochet.
Yeah,
I'd have Wardlow and Ricochet as the top two, representatives.
Wardlow has always been money. Always been money. He destroyed MJF, and they did with it.
And that's the thing. Exactly. He came in, I don't know, what was that, in LA or something, where he powerbombed him like 6 times, and he was a star that night. Everyone's like, oh, put the title on him that week.
In Vegas. That was Double or Nothing in Vegas. And then,
where's he been? It's like what they did with Wardlow with all those power bombs was amazing, and then they dropped the ball. But then you look how WWE does it. Bronson Reed squashes Seth Rollins how many times? And now he's in the fucking bloodline. Like they elevated him. Where AEW took Wardlow here and then just dropped off the mat. Because Tony gets mad about people. His feelings get hurt. Look how he treats his talent when his feelings get hurt by them. The Lucha Brothers, Wardlow, Ricky Starks. The list goes on and on. It's like, why, dude? Like, why? Like, how are you this sensitive? How? I get it. You like this. I get it. You like these people, and you want to be more friendlier than maybe what another company rumors are. But it's like, come on, dude. You're mad at these guys, and you're going to take them off TV. Mexican Heritage Month, and you don't want to put the Lucha Brothers on television? Ridiculous.
They're one step away from having a one-man tag champ because he goes by they them pronouns. That's where they're at right now. And here's your winner: they them, he him, she her. That's where they're at. But for me, you know what I think a problem is? Chris Jericho. Because just wherever Jericho puts himself in that show, everything flows and it just throws everything off for no reason.
Hi guys.
And he knows people hate him, and he fucking trolls, and they let him go on there and troll instead of recognizing, okay, fans aren't liking this anymore. He goes, no, Tony, trust me. I'm just gonna go out there and annoy him even more. People are gonna love it. Okay, Chris, I trust you. Go out there. I think behind the scenes, Jericho has way too much control, and a lot of things that have happened is because Jericho is in Tony's ear.
But it's not just Jericho. It's Jericho. It's Moxley. It's the Bucks. It's it's Kenny. I mean, Kenny Omega is got to be one of the biggest examples of someone who that whole cleaner thing. It didn't work. right? You took this time for a guy who is a good wrestler and you know, has been established and stuff, but they never made anything else. He never made anyone else. He just made himself and made sure he got Don Callis over, and then that was it. It's like
the thing about Kenny, not to cut you off, I don't want to forget this. He's been out, injured, almost died, whatever you want to story you want to believe. Why is his return in New Japan? Mm-hmm. Why does he do an interview saying, "Hey, you know what? They've got whatever over there. I owe so much to New Japan. That's why I make my return." Why? You're like,
you got to put your own company over first. You shouldn't be trying to put over another brand.
How did Tony even like approve this?
Well, it's because that's where Omega's boyfriend lives.
But still, it's like going into 2025, when you have to move your TV show out of an arena to a convention because ticket sales are that bad, where Monday Night Raw is doing better ticket sales than your pay-per-views. Like, you let Kenny Omega return. Wait till they find about Sasha and Bailey. But you let Kenny Omega like return that way, and it's like people are like, well, WWE, like, no, WWE would not, because where was NXT 2 weeks ago, and who was not at that show because he hasn't returned to SmackDown yet.
Well, it's because he's in his mom's basement coalescing. We already talked about this.
Like, Paul Heyman easily should have been on that NXT episode. Easily. But they knew storyline-wise.
They couldn't get a hold of him, Travis. His phone was shut off.
Excuse me, Vince. My checks are coming in from ECW royalties. What's going on here?
They tried.
Friday night. This past Friday, after the show, Hunter walked up to Roman and was like, "See, Sean tried to call him for NXT, couldn't get a hold of him. We tried to tell you." But it's like, you know, he's been gone, and he easily could have returned at the ECW arena, but their storylines would not allow that. But yet, Kenny Omega, like, that's like, it's ridiculous.
Ultimately, what? Just to put a button on this, like, Tony Khan needs to be a promoter and not just a matchmaker, because that's all that he has been for 5 years. He's not been a promoter, and now we're seeing exactly what that's yielding. You mentioned, obviously, we all know about the downturn in attendance. We all know about the downturn in ratings, and they're hemorrhaging their base. Realistically, they're losing people year over year, month over month, whatever metric that you want to look at. It's worse than it has been. So they definitely need to pivot. And obviously the accountability needs to start at the top with TK. That's how it is. There's nothing else that really needs to be said about it. The guy needs to actually be a promoter and not just a fucking matchmaker.
Everyone wants this company to survive. It's not bashing AEW. It's like it's passionate enough.
This is the IWC you're talking about.
Yeah, but the IWC
there's a huge contingency of fucking idiots that want AEW to go away because it's not WWE.
It's a small percentage, because the IWC means nothing. You know, they're not the ones. You know, how many of the IWC actually have real profile pictures? Let's start with that. So if you don't have a real profile picture, you can tweet whatever you want because you're not a real person. You know, how many are actually going to buy tickets to AEW when they come to their city or to WrestleMania or any very, very percentage. The internet, and see, that's Tony's problem. He thinks the internet is big. He thinks Twitter is big, and it's not.
Nope.
It's big for other things, sports, politics.
All right,
shit like that.
We've had this conversation for about a month straight, right? And we keep going, yo, they're fucking up, or they'll do something right, and then they won't follow on the momentum. They'll do a storyline, drop it. We didn't talk about it tonight, but there's a lot of fucking, enhancement talent running around everywhere they go. They get some enhancement talent. Instead of following through with a storyline, you've got one of the two factions in that storyline fighting enhancement talent and doing squash matches. what's the solution besides the obvious of getting Tony Khan away from the ropes, away from the reins? What's the solution? Who comes in there and turns that company around? Do you pay for an Eric Bischoff? Do you bring a Jim Cornette in? Do you have like a LaRusso or
his
Vince
ego
Russo?
is too big to allow anyone else to take control of this company. Period.
It's not even that. It's like he's mad at all those guys because they've talked the truth, you know. So none of those guys could even come in, you know. Conan, none of those guys. He has all of the puzzles. He has all the pieces to the puzzle. Look at that roster. That's a fucking tremendous roster. Yeah. You know, you just have to fucking utilize it correctly. The problem is he doesn't have any people who know how to book wrestling. What have the Young Bucks ever booked in their life pre AEW? What is Kenny Omega or any of the EVPs booked in their lives pre AEW? You know, look at his creative team, and I'm not going to knock anyone on there, but what are really their credentials as a creative team member? Why are so many former producers leaving the company and then say, "Oh well, no one wanted to listen to me"?
Yeah, if they sat down and knocked out a 6-month plan, it doesn't have to be sharp, just something vague. We're going to go from point A to point B in 3 months, and then follow up to 6 months. They have a great chance, but they don't do that. And like the guys said, they don't follow up on their storylines. Look at that whole MJF Adam Cole thing that went on forever, and at the end it meant nothing because MJF just decided one day, you know what? I don't like being a face. I'm gonna be a heel again, and it made no sense how the fuck he became a heel again. So why, as a fan, am I gonna commit to you when you don't even commit to your own storylines? Your talent decides, you know what, Tony? I don't want to do this anymore. I want to be the other guy again. Okay, we're sorry. You know, I was wrong. Go ahead and do that, MJF.
It just comes down to one thing, and this has always been a problem, and it's always going to be a problem because Tony doesn't understand it. But if you go to independent promoters, this is what these guys deal with constantly, and that is when you have the boys wanting to dictate, then you have no control over your product. Period. That's it. And Tony wants his friends. He has a lot of stake invested in his friends. And to this, you know, I will die on the sword that CM Punk was the one to figure out, you know what? I need to get myself fired to where they have to let me go. And the only way to do it was to do it by getting into an actual physical altercation, which would get him let go instead of just, you know, keeping him off TV for the rest of his contract. And that's what it comes down to. You know, the reason Jericho gets away with this shit, Jericho doesn't fucking care. Jericho just wants to fucking go out there and make shit look like a fucking mockery right now because he can. He's just fucking around. Everyone is, you know, and Mox, the thing that pisses me off about Mox is Mox looks like he's taking this shit seriously, but at the same time, who is Mox putting over right now? The champion. Who is fucking Mox? Why? Why is Swerve not your champ? Why is MJF in a feud with goddamn fucking Adam Cole again and Roddy? Fucking Roderick Storm. Roderick Storm has been in this business as a good worker, but cannot fucking draw flies.
Nope.
Why? Because those guys who are established are fucking control freaks who just want to get away with the shit they can get away with, and that's it. And that's the problem. But you have a talented roster. That's the thing that eats everyone up. And you have guys who really want to fucking work. You have guys on the roster who work independent shows because they love wrestling. That's what's the fucking brilliant thing about those guys, because they're making money still. They're going out. They're being able to wrestle. But the whole thing is that from a certain point when Tony started putting his fucking ego and listening to how fucking great his product was and buying into it, that's when he got in trouble. You know why ECW died is because not because Paul Heyman thought his product was so fucking great and he was the greatest thing ever. It's because when they brought it to Network killed it because it couldn't be the same product and it just financially could not continue, right? But WCW, Bischoff's ego, Russell's ego, the fucking corporate people, all that shit played into the fact that it got in the way of you had talented guys like Benoit, Guerrero, Jericho. What did you do? No. We're not going to make those guys. Let them go over there. You had Hogan tell the fucking Giant, if you want to be a star, brother, you got to go up north. And that's what he did. And that company went out of business because they couldn't keep their fucking guys who were fucking ego driven out of the fucking producers' chairs. And they started this company by having Cody Rhodes, who was proven every step of the way to be a level-headed guy, not putting himself over. And what happened? Of course, Cody's the first one who people fucking turned on. His friends turned on him because they wanted more power. We know this fucking to be true. So I guess what it comes down to is the winner out of all this is Bobby Fish, because boy, he doesn't have anything on his hands.
Where's the lie?
But one more thing I want to mention about AEW is, and this is I'm hoping that they're actually going to do something right, but I have a feeling that they're not. And I'm willing to bet that they're not. I believe is it this week? The ticket sales for Texas?
Yeah.
They're doing an on-sale party at Arlington Stadium this Wednesday. Head-to-head versus Dynamite.
Okay.
So all of your top stars, all of your champions, because this is the go-home Dynamite for a pay-per-view. All these people are going to be in Pennsylvania for this live TV go-home show. While at the same time in Arlington, Texas, you are having a party for ticket sales for your first big stadium show in America. That's my what the fuck. Because so you already know Mox, Swerve, Lashley, all these guys will not be available at this party, this meet and greet in Texas, because they have to be in Pennsylvania for Dynamite. Why are we doing ticket sales on Wednesday versus Dynamite? You can pick whenever you want tickets to go on sale. This should have been a Saturday event. This should have been a Sunday event. There's nothing going on in that stadium right now where you cannot.
You think it's just Tony Khan in the boardroom telling everybody what's going to happen, and they're just going, I
don't even think he has a boardroom. But to be, they're talking at the table in the lobby of the Marriott, in Stamford, Connecticut. It's actually where they stayed last week, ironically. But no, it's like, okay, the only way I will give them a pass for doing this is if they have a TV crew and they cut back and forth within Dynamite to show the ticket sales party. I don't have faith that they're going to do that. I don't have faith that their social media team is even going to produce anything. But it's just baffling. It's like, why? WrestleMania tickets went on sale on a Friday morning. There were certain people there for media stuff in Vegas. They immediately got on a jet to go finish SmackDown.
Well,
the ticket sales medias were not going head to head at 5 p.m. in Las Vegas versus SmackDown in a different city. Right. It's like, but see that's the thing. It's like, this is your first time ever running a stadium in America because you've shown what you can do in London, and you're going against your own product. I don't know. Well, I just don't get it.
What's worse is Tony actually has Jake Paul and Mike Tyson lined up for selling the tickets to the stadium. So,
but what's even worse is like he won't even be able to be there. It's not like you can even go get tickets and meet Tony. No, but seriously, to meet the owner. Yeah. It's like he won't even be there. So it's like, what? Like, why? But that's the perception.
All right, here we go. Final thoughts for this week. Super B.
Well, first, shout out to Gio. Hey, Gio. Final thoughts. It sounds like I have to start watching AEW again. You know, it sounds like there's been some improvement. As much as we're ranting and everything, there's been some major improvements. I kind of caught a little. I caught the last half hour last week, and I was actually kind of impressed. So kudos to them that they're actually looks like they're starting to, if not head in the right direction, they're starting to see the beginning of the road. Which way to go? So
Super B, you also forgot that Danhausen, we didn't talk about it on Collision, did a super cake bake-off with Orange Cassidy, and they made a 3-layer carrot cake. It was really stunning.
It was a coffee. It was a coffin cake, actually.
Yeah.
Orange flavored coffin cake.
Oh yeah,
coffin cake.
But it was also Nightmare Before Christmas themed since Christmas is coming up. So it was a Jack Skellington coffee Christmas carrot cake.
Mm-hmm. I don't know if he's telling the truth or not, because Danhausen has been trending on Twitter all day today. So I'm like,
it totally happened. He was on Super Cake Bake Off.
Yeah. Was he? No. No, it was like weird because like you bring up Danhausen and there's like he's been trending on Twitter all day today.
Believable, so believable that if anyone would do it, he would do it.
If you haven't been watching these baking shows, they really are that good. you gotta watch them. It's a full series, so they elimination, the whole works. It's like King of the Ring of cakes.
Do they have
diabetes right
do they have a graphic with brackets?
Yeah, the whole thing.
Like a tournament bracket.
Wait, do they have Excalibur calling it? Okay, next week we're gonna have the Super Cake Bake Off.
Exactly. We need you there as commentator. It'd be great. But for my final thing is I'm going to recommit to AEW. I don't know if I can recommit to all the shows. You know, I'll do maybe I'll do Dynamite and Collision.
They're getting canceled anyway, so it's less.
Yeah. I'm going to reprogram it into the DVR, and I'll fast forward through it like I used to.
And good luck. if your DVR actually maintains keeping it, then you've won just there, because
now if it doesn't keep it, that means you have to go to the Pursuit channel. The Pursuit network will probably take it up.
You know what? And the sad thing that it was actually on my lowest priorities on my list of things to record. It would ask, "Do you want to continue recording this, or do you want to delete so we can record a baking show?" I said, "No, let's go with the baking
Bake Off, Super Cake Bake Off, Iron Chef Japan." Iron Chef beat Bobby Flay.
The Halloween
Dynamite.
Halloween pumpkin decorations. The whole shebang.
Have you checked your blood sugar? Check it off.
Yeah, I have actually. It was 96 this morning. Thank you, fasted.
Oh Jesus!
All right, Travis. Final thoughts.
Ozempic, I'm young.
You know, as much as we took about 30 minutes to talk about AEW. You know, everything is not roses over in you know WWE land as well, but it's a hotter product.
Roses in AEW. Roses in AEW.
Only on Saturdays, unless Britt Baker's there. But you know, I mean, there's still NXT on CW. I don't know. Like, I like the I don't like the Orlando crowd. You know, I think they're spoiled at this point, and it's whatever.
It's like the Lucha Underground house crowd. It became its own.
Yeah, monster. they you know, and it's like, you know, when they stand there and have to do a promo and saying next week we're going to be in Lowell, Massachusetts or whatever, and the audience starts booing. It's like, come on, guys, you get 3 shows of the month. One city gets the 4th week. Just shut it up and let it go. But a lot of new indie wrestlers being associated with WWE in the past week. We're going to see how that goes over the next few months. They did announce officially their new class, which had 2 indie wrestlers in there. Zarya, who's already debuted, and I forgot who else was in that picture, but your typical class, your D1 athletes, Evander Holyfield's son, and the Williams from the Miami Dolphins was also in that class. So you got a NFL star and a second generation, boxer, as well as 2 wrestlers and some D1 athletes. So that's your next year of NXT.
Okay. Alejandro Ramirez, no relation to Eddie Guerrero or Dominic, says that Britt Baker is going to be in the new Cobra Kai season 2.
Oh yeah, she is. The commercial is actually out on Netflix, so maybe she needs to come to Netflix and maybe she needs to come to Raw and promote her Cobra Kai. But yeah,
that nose job did wonders for that girl, man.
She actually is in the promo package for it, so it will be interesting if AEW actually promotes that.
Being on
Hey, they won't.
Look at our star on Netflix. They'll bring back
they won't.
That streaming service that's going to host Monday Night Raw.
They'll bring Stingray back.
And scan the QR code right now, and Britt Baker will give you a complimentary teeth cleaning.
Yeah, I was surprised to see Dr. Britt Yankum on the TV the other day. And Lance Anoia, or however the fuck.
Oh yeah, Lance. Lance was the NOI was the other wrestler there. So
yeah,
the 6'8" Samoan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Rob. Final thoughts. Are you doing any comedy anytime soon?
I don't have anything booked immediately. It's kind of a downtime right now, but you can go to Boss Comedy. You can book me on Cameo, and I'll do any message you want, I just did 2 cameo messages this week. One is Barack, one is Donald Trump. I can even do Cat Williams. Hell, I'll dress up as Jean-Luc Picard if you want me to. All right.
I gotta hear your Barack.
Now, a lot of people all across this great nation want to get back to civility and to a future where young black children can walk arm in arm to the sea of prosperity. And we want to acknowledge the accomplishments of such fine wrestlers like I'm Javon Davies Porter and Bobby Lashley. That's right, Bobby Lashley, for making America a truly amazing place and really understanding what it's all about. Diversity. Like the diversity hires they need on AEW right now, which is why we have the Hurt Syndicate. And together, we won't hurt the ratings. Thank you. And God bless.
Oh, that was great, dude.
I know that was great. That's why I did it, okay? Everything I do turns to gold, okay? It turns to so much gold, okay? You've never seen ratings like this before since Vince McMahon was dunking Trish Stratus in a bucket of shit, okay? Remember that? Remember that? I would have had her eating it. I would have had her licking it up. It would have been tremendous. It would have been tremendous. And these motherfuckers right here are trying to tell me that AEW can't string together a motherfucking promo and get some asses in the seats at a fucking Jaguars game, okay? Get that Urban Meyer motherfucker who doesn't know to not tweet shit in the middle of a goddamn match. Ain't that some bullshit? You're gonna show MJF and Jericho in the same motherfucking room while they're supposed to be fighting. What motherfucker allowed this dumb shit?
That's why he has no bookings, because he's doing the whole skit for free on Vegas.
No shit.
They're asking you how much are your cameos?
How much are the cameos?
25. 25 bucks.
There you go. And
Awesome.
Steve, since we just got that, tell us about the PP.
All right. Thank you guys for hanging out with us tonight. Thank you for liking, sharing, subscribing, doing all the stuff that you guys do. We appreciate each and every one of you. Also, very special thank you to all the brave men and women serving this country, whether you're doing it on lands foreign or domestic. Thank you for doing what you do so that we can do what we love to do. And last but not least, repsports.com, reppsports.com. Go there for all your pre-workout, weight loss, and general energy needs. Again, that's repsports.com. Use promo code Vegas at checkout and save yourself 15%.
They tell me that if you take their supplements, your PP works tremendously. Better than ever before, okay?
I mean,
like a rock.
There you go.
Remember those Chevy commercials, like a rock? That's what it's going to be like. It's going to be like an S10 Blazer. It's going to be an S10 Blazer, like a rock, if you take Rep supplements, okay? I don't need to take supplements. They tell me I need the Blue Chew. I say, excuse me, fake news. Fake news. We don't need the Blue Chew or the creatine, but if you need Blue Chew or creatine, I don't know about the Blue Chew, but they've got creatine and lots of protein powders. Lots of protein powders. So much protein powder.
4 more years of this.
Buckle up. It's going to be a fun ride.
That's what Ivanka says every week. I say that to Ivanka every weekend. I go, buckle up, honey. It's going to be a fun ride. It's going to be a fun ride. And she goes, Daddy, thank you for making my pussy great again. Believe me. Tremendous.
On that note, everyone, happy wrestling.